G'day everyone, how's it going? My name's Big Pop, and today I'm back at you with some Master League content. The Master League is finally back, and I'm super stoked. I want to post heaps of content while I still can, and yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for the overwhelming amount of support on my last video. I couldn't believe the amount of likes, comments, and just wonderful things you all had to say. It really touched me, so thank you very much. I'm feeling very motivated to keep up the content, and I'm very excited about what's to come. Anyway, jumping in, we have the Lugia against the Dragonite. We're able to farm all the way down with the super effective Dragon Tails. They send in a pretty hard counter to Lugia in the Melmetal, and we're going to full send the Aeroblast. Aeroblast does a pretty decent amount of damage. It's pretty sick when you get the attack boost, not going to lie. But unfortunately, no boost for us. We're happy to let the Lugia go. In comes Heatran, and we start to farm away. Heatran has been getting some serious buffs lately. Like, first they gave it Magma Storm, so spammy. Then Fire Spin, I believe, got a buff last season or this season, which I'm super happy about. And then Stone Edge is a great coverage move. I really love my Shundo Heatran. I still remember the day I got it. I was watching One Piece for the first time with my girlfriend. It was the Baratie arc. I think Luffy had just punched that guy wearing the Pearl outfit. I forgot his name. His name's probably Pearl, who knows. And then I was doing all these Heatran raids because when they first came out back in the day, I did one raid and I got a hundo. So I was like, I got a hundo. Why am I not going to level 50 this thing? So I was doing all these raids, and then I got another hundo. I think I got 2 more hundos, and then I got a shundo, and I was like, what the actual hell? I could not believe I got... it was my first raid shundo, and it's probably been my favorite Pokemon in my arsenal ever since. So I'm very happy Heatran has been getting some major love by Niantic. And then can you guys let me know in the comments, is Earth Power like an upgrade? Because I don't know, I think Stone Edge is better, but you guys let me know if you'd want to see an Earth Power Heatran video. Anyway, back into the battles. We have the Heatran against Lugia. This is one of its best matchups. Dialga and Lugia are two of the things that Heatran absolutely cooks. Puts a smile on my face whenever I see a Lugia. Aeroblast, that's a tickle for Heatran. He says, get out of here. Farms all the way down. What's going to come in next? It's a Rhyperior. That is bad news. That is like water on a flame. Or mud on a rock, but we send in the Magma Storm. That grabs the shield, which is great for us, and then we have 2 great counters for Rhyperior in the back. In comes Lugia. We're very comfortable here. We do kind of have to worry about the Rock Wrecker, but it won't one-shot KO, so we're not going to shield. It's the Breaking Swipe. Unfortunately, they do get a debuff, which is very unlucky for us because it is no longer guaranteed if you didn't know. What comes in next? It's another Breaking Swipe. No debuff that time. In comes the Xerneas. We managed to get to a Surf. I'm assuming this will be grabbing a shield and putting us in a very great position. We grab the second shield. We're up a shield now. We still have a whole ass Lugia in the back, and it's not looking good for the opponent. Lugia is just too tanky, takes so many hits. Definitely one of your Master League essentials. We're going to no-shield this. Why not? I'm feeling daring today. In comes the close combat, and we get to the Aeroblast. Now, this is normally a pretty bad matchup, but we're in a very, very great position. In comes the Aeroblast. We even get the attack buff, even when we don't need it, you know. The most unnecessary time is when you get the buff, hey? In comes the Breaking Swipe, and we farm all the way down. Good game to my opponent. Moseying on into the second battle, we have our shiny Kyogre into a Togekiss. This is a pretty good matchup. We're both doing neutral damage to each other. I was going to farm up to 6 Charms and then throw on the CMP tie, but they switch into Dialga, and let's go Magma Storm. It's time to cook. In comes Heatran. We have a great position here. I don't even mind we just got with the Draco Meteor. I don't want to use any shields shielding up a Heatran up against the Dialga, because in most cases people will have a counter, so I want the Heatran to be on low health. You know, so many people are running around with Kyogres, Groudons, you name it. A lot of things counter Heatran, but Dialga's not one of them. We managed to get to another Magma Storm. That'll be taking out the Dialga. I think that was 3 Magma Storms. We're on a sliver of health. Good game. Keeping things moving here, we have the shiny Kyogre into a Rhyperior. This is absolutely fantastic. They should be switching out right about now. I would switch. They don't seem to be wanting to switch, and I don't want to expend any shields, so we're just going to let this come in. It's the Breaking Swipe. We tank that like a champion. We have loads of energy. In comes Dragonite. Will they shield the Thunder? I'm guessing they will. They'll probably want to preserve the Dragonite. They don't. Does just about half, which is pretty awesome, and now we're waterfalling away. It's probably just another Dragon Claw. We'll let that go because we have a great counter in Lugia. As I said earlier, the super effective Dragon Tails from Lugia are absolutely brilliant against the Dragonite. And Dragonite can be such a pesky Pokemon. There's a reason it's ranked so highly on PvPoke. It's an absolute monster from the Kanto region. What is your guys' favorite region, by the way? Because I was in the gym the other day, and as strange as this sounds, I was listening to the Hoenn battle music, or the Emerald Sapphire Hoenn battle music. You know, the one that plays? After this video, have a look. I'm going to play it as the background music in this video, but it absolutely slaps, and I was like, I've got to give some love to Kyogre. So, here we are. And I would also say, to answer the question that I proposed, Hoenn, I think, is the best league. Let me know if you'd like to see an all Hoenn theme team, actually. I have like a Shundo Metagross. I have a Kyogre, Rayquaza, Groudon. I have a level 50 Salamence. I'll see what I can do. I'd love to do a series of videos where I do like a Kanto theme team in the Master League. I could do it for all the leagues, but yeah, let me know if that sounds like something that would interest you. Anyway, we have the Kyogre onto the Solgaleo. This is not a very good matchup for Solgaleo. I mean, they can debuff us, but our waterfalls are just slapping that thing in the face. Absolutely disrespectful to that Solgaleo. Look at the waterfall damage. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad I finally got a Kyogre, one of those Pokemon that I was chasing for absolutely yonks. Anyway, we're going to farm all the way down. Down goes Solgaleo, or Solgaleo, however you want to say it. In comes Haxorus. Now this is normally a pretty bad matchup. I should have switched into Lugia. I shouldn't have switched into Heatran. That was a complete misplay. An insult to injury, they're running Surf, which is just super unlucky. Normally they run Night Slash, Breaking Swipe, I think. Anyway, we have the Lugia in the back. Lugia should be able to take care of business like an absolute boss. In comes the Breaking Swipe. No debuff for us, which is absolutely brilliant. We're Dragon Tailing away. It's probably just going to be another Breaking Swipe, right? That time gets the debuff. They have the Togekiss in the back. We're just going to No Shield here. It's probably the Ancient Power, but I'm really not threatened. It doesn't do a great amount of damage. I probably should have switched into the Kyogre to reset the debuff, but I think we're going to win anyway. We switch into Kyogre. We snipe them with a Surf, and that should secure and cement the 5-0. So I had a pretty good run with these teams. I think I went 5-0 in this set, as you're about to see, at 5-0, and then I had a 4-1, and then I had like a 0-5, and then I think I finished off with another 4-1, and those were the battles I did with this team for the day. So give this team a go. It's pretty OP. I looked it up on PvPoke with the team builder sort of thing you can do, and it gave it pretty much all A's, which I know like it's not good to just go off the grading off PvPoke because there's so many nuances and caveats within the Go Battle League, and like, you know, like so many teams that PvPoke would say are bad can actually work out brilliantly if you're skilled enough. But if you just want a team where, like, as for me, I was watching the Top Gear America special, just like having a good old time. That's that little tab you see in the up left. You can play like a video on Netflix and then like swipe it to the left. So if you want a team that you can just sit back, listen to your favorite show, and just battle away, I'd give this team a go for sure. Very expensive team though. A lot of rating went into it, and there's a lot of Stardust required, but if you can run this team, I definitely recommend it. Anyway, down goes Giratina. Good to get that thing out of the way, because neither of my backline Pokemon really want to see a Giratina. You know, Heatran's doing not very effective damage. Kyogre's doing not very effective damage, so Lugia was tribute. Anyway, we're going to send in Kyogre. We're in a shieldless game here. I didn't want to send in Heatran just because those superpowers will be doing an immense amount of damage against the Heatran, or Heatran, however you guys want to say it. I have an Aussie accent, so I say Heatran. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry, but you know, it's you know, Pokemon Pearl was one of the first. It was the first Pokemon game I owned myself. I used to play my brother's Emerald and Leaf Green, but it was the first game I owned by myself, and I've been saying Heatran since I was a little tucker, so I'm just going to keep saying it. Anyway, we send off the Magma Storm. That does a pretty good amount of damage to the Mewtwo. We get the second Magma Storm off. That'll be securing the dub. Down goes Mewtwo. Good game to that opponent. Here we have Kyogre into a Dialga. This is horrible. The waterfalls aren't doing very much damage. I know Lugia is not the best switch in for a Dialga, but it's the best we can do, because I know if I switch into Heatran, there's just going to be a hard counter, game over. So we send in the Lugia. Unfortunately, that Dialga is running Thunder, which is pretty unfortunate. I would actually rather them be running Draco Meteor. Thus, they'd get the 2-stage debuff on their attack, and we'd be able to get more damage off. Also, very unfortunately, they shield up the Aeroblast. That matchup can be completely flipped if they have Draco and they don't shield the Aeroblast. Anyway, we send in Heatran. They're sending off the Thunder. That does a decent amount of damage. We're going to try and farm up a little of extra damage, send off a Magma Storm. I doubt they're going to shield here. Yeah, why would you? Down goes Dialga. What do they have in the back? It's a Groudon. Unfortunately, they pretty much have us in checkmate here. There's not much else we could do. Maybe if we had Blizzard and they miraculously no shield, we could be in for a chance, but unfortunately we're running Thunder. We send off the Thunder anyway, just, you know, never give up. Will this land? It lands, does a decent amount of damage. Now, I don't know what the play is here. I think in my head, I was going to no shield, try and farm down the Dragonite, and then throw a Surf against the Groudon, but it was just never going to happen. In comes Heatran. In comes Groudon. Checkmate. We back out. Good game to the opponent. Skipping into the next match, we have Kyogre into a Kyurem. This is also a terrible lead. Obviously, Kyurem really dominates Kyogre. I think it 4 times resists the water because of its ice and dragon typing. So we switch into Lugia, and they unfortunately switch into a Groudon. If you see a Lugia come in, do not switch into a Groudon. It is a terrible matchup. The Fire Punches do a decent amount of neutral damage, sure, but it's just a matchup that you can really take advantage of. Absolutely take advantage of, you know? Like, look at all the energy that I've gained. Like, I might comfortably farm down here and just come out with, like, a full Aeroblast, which really threatens pretty much everything. Even does half damage to a Melmetal, which is absolutely astounding. Anyway, we're no shielding here. Why would we shield? Does a decent amount of damage. I think they just sent in their own Lugia, so we're going to send off the Aeroblast. Hopefully, fingers crossed this lands. Does not land, but we quickly switch into Kyogre, and we're going to build up to the Thunder, I believe. We're building up. We're 1 Surf away from a Thunder. We're going to shield up, fearing the Aeroblast. We correctly shield. We get to the Thunder. Come on, Thunder. I would love to see a Thunder land. That would be such an epic moment. Thunder does not land, so that was a bit of an anticlimax, but we're still in a great position. I think we'll no shield here and just try and get to another Surf and save the shield for Heatran. In comes the Surf. This should be doing a decent amount of damage to the Lugia, getting it pretty low, and that puts us in a good position to farm down. In comes Heatran. What do they have? It's the Kyurem. All we need to do is get to a Stone Edge, and this game should be in the bag. This is going to be the Glaciate, so the correct play here probably would have been to switch into Lugia to reset the debuff, but I don't think that's necessary, and maybe if I was in like a tighter situation I would have. We switch now, we farm down the Kyurem. They have 2 Pokemon in the back. We're going to farm down the Lugia, almost. We're going to let the Lugia go down. Nice to see another shiny Lugia, definitely one of the best shinies in the game. I love the red. And in comes the Groudon, and we get to a Magma Storm. Good game to this opponent. So yeah, Magma Storm is absolutely phenomenal for Heatran's performance. Good game. Heading into the last couple of matches for the day, we have a Kyogre into a Ho-Oh. This is absolutely fantastic. Our waterfalls will douse that Ho-Oh out of the sky, so they retaliate with a Rayquaza. We switch into Lugia. This is a pretty good matchup for us. Our Dragon Tails will absolutely chip away at the Rayquaza. We can definitely take these breaking swipes with ease and come out of this matchup with a good amount of energy. They're going to throw another breaking swipe. Unfortunately for them, they do not get another debuff. We both experience a bit of lag. We will shield up just because we want to preserve the energy we've gathered up while farming down this Rayquaza. They come in, back with Ho-Oh. We're going to throw the Aeroblast. Hopefully this lands. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Or we get the boost. We get neither, but we should be able to get to a Sky Attack for a little bit of chip damage. In comes the Sky Attack. That does a nice little amount of damage. You know, everything helps. And I think we're going to come in with Kyogre. I'm expecting a Brave Bird, so I will shield up here. It's an Earthquake, so kind of similar. Both moves would have done a huge amount of neutral damage, and we are able to farm all the way down. It's probably just going to be another Earthquake. They actually send the Sacred Fire, probably hoping for a debuff, and then an Excadrill comes out, so I'm sorry, little buddy. Oh, that hurt to look at. Down goes Excadrill, good game. Alright, trudging into the last match of the day, we have a Kyogre into a Zacian. So this, I would say it's probably a bad lead, to be honest. They get to these wild charges so fast, and I don't want to switch into a Lugia because the wild charges, and then I don't want to switch into Heatran because of the close combats or being countered. So we're just going to sit pretty and farm up energy. They switch into Dialga, which is a bit of a lifeline for us because Heatran absolutely dominates Dialga. Honestly, so glad to have a Heatran because I don't have a Dialga, so if I don't have a Dialga, at least I have the Pokemon that counters Dialga. Anyway, we're throwing the Magma Storm. That does a decent amount of damage. And we're able to farm all the way down. We have energy. Unfortunately, we throw the Magma Storm against the Kyogre. It was just one of those split-second decisions. We should have thrown the Stone Edge. But you live and you learn. We send in Lugia. We're Dragon Tailing away. Unfortunately, they are at a shield advantage, so hopefully we can overcome this challenge. What are they going to throw? It's probably just the Surf. Unfortunately, we get hit with the Thunder, so it does more damage than I would have liked. We're full sending the Aeroblast. Unfortunately, they shield, and we get the boost, I think, but I switched out. I didn't quite see that. Anyway, we throw in the Kyogre. We're throwing the Surf. These waterfalls are doing a pretty good amount of damage. In comes the Wild Charge. One more waterfall. We farm all the way down. Now it's just that pesky Kyogre to take care of. We're throwing the Surf. Hopefully this grabs the shield. That grabs the last shield. We're waterfalling away. We get to another Surf. And then we should be able to seal the deal with Lugia. In comes Surf. That does a good amount of chunk damage. We're waterfalling away. They're going to have to throw a move. Now their energy's dry, and Lugia can come in and reap the rewards of this dub. In comes Lugia. Good game to my opponent. So yeah, I think this set was about a 4-1. I think it's going to show the rewards in a minute. Yep, 4-1. Good game to all my opponents.